My roommate stole my bronze mirror and wouldn't admit it. But that mirror was a treasure from the underworld, called the Earth Spirit Mirror. It trapped evil spirits that fed on people's life force. Soon, she was gaunt and her hair turned white, and she could only come crying to me for help. But this was a tough situation. It would take at least half of her lifespan to fix. Because I was born with spirit eyes, I was recruited as an unofficial agent for the underworld, helping them capture lonely spirits and wild ghosts, which earned me merit and lifespan for my extremely lean constitution, which should have died young. Fortunately, I had a good knack for it, and by diligently catching ghosts every day, I successfully lived to 18 and even got into college. On the first day of college, I was delayed by a ghost-catching incident and was late for check-in. By the time I got to the dorm, the 3 roommates who had arrived earlier were already bonding. When they saw me, dressed simply, with messy hair, and yawning as I walked into the dorm, they instinctively took a step back in unison. Ignoring their stares, I put down my luggage and climbed directly onto the last empty bunk to catch up on sleep. That evil spirit last night was too fast. I chased it all night, and now my limbs were aching. All I wanted was to lie down. I didn't even bother to make my bed. As soon as I lay down, I heard their discussion. Is that Judy? Is she really here for school? She can sleep without even making her bed. How hard must her life be usually? No energy to argue, sleep first. I slept until the sun went down. When I opened my eyes, I saw a girl secretly looking at the Earth Spirit Mirror tied to my arm. The Earth Spirit Mirror is an artifact from the Een world and an important tool for me to capture ghosts. The evil spirit that ran so fast last night was inside it now. What are you doing? The girl, who was originally standing on my chair, was startled by my sudden voice and fell onto the floor. I sat up and stared at her, waiting for an explanation. She didn't answer me, her eyes darting around nervously. When she heard footsteps outside the door, she immediately covered her face with her hands and started crying. Then, the next second, the other 2 roommates came back. Oh, great, a total drama queen. Sandy, why are you crying? It was a round-faced girl with long curly hair who spoke. She quickly walked up and helped Sandy up. Sandy, while sobbing, didn't forget to explain, I just thought Judy's mirror was pretty and wanted to look at it closely. It's not her fault. It really wasn't my fault, but with her dramatic words, others would only think I had done something to make her fall. Like this girl who was sticking up for her, Judy, Sandy was just looking at your mirror. She wasn't planning to steal it. Why do you have to be so mean? Huh? This girl sure knows how to talk. Sandy was also choked by her words. Anna, Judy didn't say I wanted to steal. It seemed the one with long hair was named Anna, and the other one was Kathy. I said to Sandy with a stern face, are we close? You call me Judy? Sandy immediately became emotional again, with a sobbing tone. I'm sorry, I was wrong, I just wanted to be friends with you. I don't need friends. Stay away from me in the future. An extremely Een constitution is naturally isolating. It's hard for family and friends to have good luck and longevity. I was doing this for their own good. Sure enough, after hearing my rejection, Sandy started crying loudly, burying her face on the desk. Her 2 roommates quickly comforted her, no longer bothering to scold me. After taking a shower, feeling refreshed, I was ready to go out and catch ghosts. Just before leaving, I felt my pocket, and the Earth Spirit Mirror was gone. Not wanting to shower with an evil spirit, I specifically didn't take the Earth Spirit Mirror into the bathroom but put it in my pocket. I didn't expect something to disappear in the dorm room. I scanned the dorm room. Kathy was reading, Anna was doing her skincare routine, and Sandy was talking on the phone while sneaking glances at me. It seemed Sandy had taken my Earth Spirit Mirror. I walked directly to her and held out my hand. Give me back my stuff. Sandy slapped my hand away. Who took your stuff? Don't spread rumors without evidence. I glanced at Kathy and Anna. They just watched us and didn't come over to help Sandy. It seemed they also knew that Sandy had taken my earth spirit mirror. Sandy still insisted stubbornly, "You can eat whatever you want, but you can't say whatever you want. Which eye of yours saw me take your stuff?" I scanned her desk with my eyes, and she misunderstood that I was going to search her things. She quickly stood up and blocked me, "Don't touch my stuff." It seemed it would be hard to get her to hand it over today. I didn't have much lifespan left, and the earth spirit mirror was gone. I still had to borrow another tool from the underworld. It was better to leave quickly. Anyway, she took the earth spirit mirror. She would be the one suffering. When yin and yang intersect, it is also when the underworld begins its work. At this time, most of the ghost messengers were outside apprehending souls, and the underworld was still relatively quiet. Judge Larry was sitting in his seat, seemingly writing something. I approached with a fawning smile, rubbing my hands. "Larry, are you busy?" Larry looked up at me and smiled before speaking. "Judy, are you here to deliver souls today?" I shook my head. "The earth spirit mirror is gone. I'm here to borrow a tool to capture souls." Larry seemed to have been a scholar in his previous life, speaking and acting with grace and having a very good temper. He was the one who found me to help the underworld in the first place, so I didn't think he would blame me for losing something. Upon hearing that the earth spirit mirror was lost, Larry put down the judge's brush in his hand and began to calculate the whereabouts of the earth spirit mirror for me. "The earth spirit mirror is in your dorm. Go back and look towards the southeast. It's best for mortals to touch things from the yin world as little as possible." The southeast was exactly Sandy's bed. I showed a dejected expression. "My roommate likes the earth spirit mirror. It seems she really took it and won't give it back to me." Larry still gently advised me, "You must find a way to get it back quickly. It wouldn't be good if someone's life was lost." He didn't forget the main reason I came to see him and went to the storeroom to get me a soul-binding chain. You can only take one ghost artifact that needs to recognize a master, otherwise the yin energy will be too strong, and you won't be able to bear it. Since you already have the earth spirit mirror, you can only use this soul-binding chain that doesn't require recognition of a master. I knew about the soul-binding chain. It could only capture one soul at a time. Until I got the earth spirit mirror back, would have to make more trips to the underworld. The soul-binding chain wasn't as powerful as the earth spirit mirror, so I didn't dare provoke those evil spirits. I could only wander the streets and catch some lonely spirits and wild ghosts to make up the numbers. I worked all night and only earned 3 days of lifespan. The work efficiency was greatly reduced. Dragging my tired body back to the dorm, my 3 roommates were already awake and preparing for class. After a night of intimate contact with the earth spirit mirror, Sandy had 2 big dark circles under her eyes. When I entered the room, I heard her complaining. "The school beds are really uncomfortable. I didn't sleep well all night, and I have dark circles." I smiled. She couldn't blame the school beds. The evil spirit in the earth spirit mirror was sucking her life force. I had a position in the underworld and merit protecting me, so evil spirits couldn't harm me. But Sandy was just an ordinary person, so she naturally couldn't withstand the evil spirit's harm. Thinking of Judge Larry's enjoining, I still walked up to Sandy and extended my hand. "Are you done playing? Can you give me back the mirror?" Sandy still had the same attitude, slapping my hand away. "Didn't take it, didn't take it, didn't take it. I told you I didn't take it. You need evidence when you talk." She wouldn't shed a tear until she saw her coffin. Let her interact with the evil spirit for a few more days then. 3 days later, I suddenly sensed that the evil spirit had escaped from the earth spirit mirror. After being injured by me and confined in the earth spirit mirror, the evil spirit was bound by the mirror, and its recovery ability was suppressed to the maximum extent, making it very difficult to recover enough to escape. Normally, after I catch a powerful evil spirit, I would deliver the soul to the underworld as soon as possible to prevent any unforeseen circumstances. This was the first ghost that had escaped from my earth spirit mirror. And once an evil spirit escapes, the people within several hundred meters around are in danger. Without a master to control it, the Earth Spirit mirror was just an ordinary mirror. If I didn't get it back quickly, everyone would be at the mercy of the evil spirit. When I ran back to the dorm, I just happened to see the evil spirit preparing to suck Sandy's life force face to face. I swung the soul-binding chain a few times, and the evil spirit retreated in time, dodging the chain, and after giving me a mocking smile, it left. My roommates were awakened by the commotion and sat up groggily, asking me what I was doing. I didn't answer, I just looked at Sandy's bed. Sandy also complained impatiently, "Judy, what's all the noise? Can't you see we're all sleeping?" Kathy and Anna followed my gaze to Sandy, and when they saw her face, both of them screamed in terror. "Your face! What happened to your face? Monster, where did you come from, monster?" Sandy was startled awake by the word monster and hugged her quilt, asking nervously, "Where's the monster? What kind of monster?" Anna usually doted on Sandy the most and would stand in front of her in danger. Today, she didn't come over to protect her, which made Sandy look at Anna with dissatisfaction. But when she looked at Anna, she found that Anna was cowered up in the corner, looking at her with a terrified expression. Sandy finally realized belatedly that the monster they were talking about was herself. She was so scared that she quickly got out of bed to look in the mirror and was then terrified by the reflection of herself. The current Sandy had a face full of wrinkles and white hair, looking like a 70 or 80-year-old woman. When she saw me standing nearby out of the corner of her eye, she immediately vented all her anger on me. "Judy, did you do this? Change me back." I crossed my arms and was happy to see her throw a tantrum. "You're about to die and still so arrogant. It seems you're not afraid of death at all." Sandy flinched. What do you mean?" "I mean, you're being haunted by an evil spirit right now. If you don't deal with it quickly, you're going to die." Seeing that I seemed to understand the situation, the deathly afraid Sandy finally softened her attitude. "Judy, please, we're roommates. Please save me." As I reached out, she quickly presented the Earth Spirit mirror from her pajama pocket to me with both hands. "Wait here, I'll go ask someone what to do about your situation." Seeing Sandy in this state, I was also a little puzzled. With the restraint of the Earth Spirit mirror, even if the evil spirit could absorb life force, it shouldn't have been able to make Sandy look like this in 4 days. Could it be that there was some kind of karmic connection between them? Before the sun came out, I made another trip to the underworld, handed over the 2 wandering souls that hadn't escaped from the Earth Spirit mirror yet, and then went to find Judge Larry to return the soul-binding chain. When returning the soul-binding chain, I casually asked about Sandy. That roommate who snatched my Earth Spirit mirror was almost drained of her life force by the evil spirit in 4 days, turning from someone in her 20s to someone who looks like she's 70 or 80. What's going on? Upon hearing this, Judge Larry thought for a moment and replied, "Let me check the Book of Life and Death." Judge Larry reached out his left hand and a spectral grip appeared in front of him, and the Book of Life and Death appeared in his hand. With a wave of his hand, it automatically turned pages, and he carefully looked through it. I leaned my head over to try and see, but I could only see a blank page. After a moment, Judge Larry put down the Book of Life and Death and began to explain to me. Indeed, that evil spirit's death is related to Sandy's family, specifically, to Sandy's father. Sandy's father previously contracted a project. That evil spirit worked for him during his lifetime and later died on the construction site due to a lack of protective measures. Sandy's father not only didn't provide compensation but also bricked his body into the wall. Although it wasn't caused by Sandy, Sandy spent her father's money, and a part of it should have belonged to this evil spirit. The karma has extended to Sandy. Since the evil spirit died because of Sandy's family, then Sandy being devoured by the evil spirit could be considered retribution. I was calculating in my mind and asked him, will this evil spirit's resentment disappear if it devours Sandy? Can I bring the evil spirit back to the underworld after its resentment has dissipated? Will I get a bonus for helping with its deliverance? Judge Larry, however, told me with a serious expression. The evil spirit was originally a localized spirit and couldn't find Sandy. You brought it back to the dorm, so you're also entangled in the karma. If she dies, you probably won't be able to continue this job in the underworld. I had originally thought of letting her be swallowed by the evil spirit, but since my own life was at stake, I had to save her even if I didn't want to. Seeing my depressed look, Judge Larry comforted me. Sandy stole the Earth Spirit mirror herself, it's her own doing. You can charge her for saving her. My eyes lit up. Then if I take 10 years of her lifespan, I can live comfortably until I'm 28. Judge Larry was much more generous than me. It's almost dawn. Go back and ask Sandy if she's willing to trade 20 years of lifespan. After absorbing the essence of her enemy, the evil spirit's power has greatly increased. After sunset today, I will go with you to deal with the evil spirit. 20 years. My ambition was too small. Back at the dorm, Kathy and Anna had already gone to class, leaving only Sandy curled up in bed. Seeing me return, Sandy eagerly came up to greet me. Well, did you ask? Can I recover? She seemed pretty confident that she would recover. Of course there's a way, but the price. I deliberately kept her in suspense. Sandy immediately gripped my arm tightly. I have money, I'll give you 500,000 after it's done. 500,000 was nothing compared to 20 years of lifespan. I continued to be mysterious, only 500,000. Do you think your youth, your life, is only worth 500,000? Sandy quickly doubled it, 5 million. I'll ask my dad for the money, I'm his only daughter, he'll give me the money. She was really wealthy, straight up multiplying it by 10. But these are things from the human world, the evil spirit in the underworld doesn't care about them. I said slowly, wanting to see her sincerity. But Sandy broke down, she couldn't think of anything she could exchange, so she just snapped at me. Judy, you're the one who attracted that evil spirit, you're the culprit. Why should I pay the price? I'm the victim. I shook my index finger back and forth. No, you are not innocent. Otherwise, among the 4 people in the dorm, why did the evil spirit only attack you? Of course, it has a grudge against you. To be precise, it has a grudge against your dad. Your dad killed him, swallowed his wages and compensation, and even bricked him into the wall, preventing him from reincarnating after death, forcing him to become an evil spirit. Sandy was still being stubborn. Then go find my dad. Why are you looking for me? I'm innocent. She really was a good daughter of a capitalist, so readily pushing her father out. Of course, it's because among the money you've spent, there's his compensation and hard-earned money. I touched the top of Sandy's head. You are not innocent at all. Sandy finally cried. Then what does he want? Anything I have, anything. As long as I can return to my original appearance. I leaned close to her face and said in a sinister voice, he wants 20 years of your lifespan. Are you willing to give it? Sandy asked with tears in her eyes, how long can I live without 20 years of lifespan? Evil people live long lives, don't worry, you still have a long life ahead of you. Sandy finally nodded with tears in her eyes. Actually, I didn't know how long she could live, but I was definitely taking her 20 years of lifespan. After the sun went down, I met Judge Larry at the dorm entrance. He was still wearing that judge's robe, completely out of place with the surroundings. However, passers-by didn't give him a second look, only I, with my spirit eyes, could see him. Where are we going to catch the evil spirit now? I asked in a low voice, avoiding being mistaken for talking to myself. Judge Larry gestured for me to lead the way. He's a localized spirit and can only leave his bound area for a short while. He should be back to his original location now. I understood and led Judge Larry to the place where I had captured that evil spirit. It was a dilapidated building, probably where the evil spirit had died during his lifetime. Under the moonlight, it looked spooky and full of negative energy. Whether it was psychological or because the evil spirit's power had increased, the temperature here was much lower than when I last came. I was only wearing a thin short-sleeved shirt and was now covered in goosebumps from the cold. I thought I would have the chance to witness the magnificent scene of Judge Larry heroically capturing the evil spirit, but who knew that Judge Larry's approach was a verbal attack? Guilty spirit, Steve, come forth to face judgment. You are already dead and should not linger in the human world, much less cause harm here. I am Judge Larry of the underworld. I know the cause and effect and will administer rewards and punishments fairly, ensuring the wicked suffer the consequences of their evil deeds. Guilty spirit, Steve, do not make another mistake. Would that evil spirit really come out and confess based on just these few words? Yes, it actually would. After only a few breaths, the evil spirit, emitting black smoke all over, obediently knelt before him. Guilty spirit, Steve, has come to face judgment. Being powerful is truly impressive. Just a few words made the evil spirit I chased all night voluntarily surrender. I gave him 2 big thumbs up enthusiastically. Judge Larry's mouth twitched, and I took it as him smiling at me. Judge Larry extracted the life force the evil spirit had absorbed from Sandy, condensed it into a ball, and told me to put it into Sandy through the top of her head when I got back. After escorting the evil spirit to the underworld, I eagerly anticipated how much lifespan I would get in return this time. After all, besides capturing an evil spirit, there was also the 20 years of lifespan Sandy had given. So, wherever Judge Larry went, I followed, waiting for him to announce how much lifespan I would gain from this endeavor. Finally, after he had pronounced judgment and punishment on the evil spirit and had the ghost messengers take the evil spirit away, I leaned on his desk and stared at him. Judge Larry had excellent composure even with me staring at him like this. He could continue working without any psychological pressure. It wasn't until it was almost dawn that he slowly uttered the opening words I wanted to hear. Judy, female, has rendered meritorious service in apprehending an evil spirit. Rewarded with 2 years and 3 months of lifespan, for a total lifespan of 20 years and 9 months. Upon clearly hearing the reward, I immediately jumped up. Why only 2 years and 3 months? What about Sandy's 20 years of lifespan? Judge Larry explained to me while disappearing into the mist, Sandy's lifespan cannot be directly added to yours. Being tainted by karma is unfavorable to you. Those 18 years are the handling fee for clearing the karma. Consider the merit from apprehending the evil spirit as compensation from me. He deliberately waited until dawn. I tried to grab him, but in the end, I could only grasp a wisp of morning mist. After dawn, the underworld turned into a withered forest. Damn it, charging such high handling fees, he's truly heartless. Back at the dorm, Kathy and Anna were still gone. As soon as Sandy saw me, she stood up excitedly. Is it done? Can I recover? It seemed she had been sitting up all night without sleeping. The school dorms had loft beds with desks underneath, and after her energy was drained, she couldn't even climb up to her bed. I nodded, took out the ball of life force from the earth spirit mirror, and slowly inserted it through the top of her head. This process didn't seem comfortable. Sandy was twitching and rolling her eyes the whole time. After the life force ball was completely inserted, she rolled her eyes and directly fell to the ground. The ground was cold, and sleeping on the floor was definitely not okay. I had seen ghosts who were frozen to death lying on the ground in late summer. I looked at the ladder to the loft bed, then at Sandy, and then at my own small body. Forget it, don't make it hard on yourself. I can't carry her up there. I pulled her quilt down, spread it on the floor, and then rolled her onto the quilt. I had done enough. Digesting and absorbing so much life force would take some time to recover from. I also quickly took a shower and planned to go back to sleep. I had another 2.5 years of lifespan, which was enough to attend classes and work normally. As an orphan, my tuition was covered by loans, and I had to earn my own living expenses. It was really tough. Sigh. In the afternoon, when I woke up, Sandy was still asleep, but her appearance had recovered. I checked her breathing to make sure she was still alive, and then I leisurely went out for dinner. When I got back to the dorm after eating, Sandy was finally awake and was admiring her restored youthful face. Seeing me return empty-handed, she frowned unhappily. "Why didn't you bring me food? Kathy and Anna haven't been back these past 2 days, and I don't dare to go out. I'm starving to death." I rolled my eyes. "Are we that close?" But Sandy still shamelessly came closer. "Can you go buy me a meal? I really don't have the strength to climb the stairs." "Don't you need lifespan? After I eat, I can introduce you to a big deal. How about it? Besides lifespan, I can also give you money. Otherwise, if you keep going out to work every night and have no energy for classes during the day, you'll have basically wasted your college education." So they thought I was going out to work and earn money every night. Indeed, I'm very short on money right now, but did the evil spirit eat your brain too? Can't you order delivery yourself? Don't you have any other contacts on your phone? I really didn't want to help her buy food. This spoiled rich girl was too high maintenance. Besides, introducing me to a business that could earn me lifespan meant it must be related to evil spirits. Then who else could she ask besides me? This was something within my grasp. I wasn't scared at all. Sandy pouted unhappily but didn't deny my suggestion, picking up her phone and texting someone. Not long after, Anna came back with a big bag of food. "Sandy, you must be starving, right? I bought everything you just mentioned. Eat quickly." It seemed Sandy's money power had swayed Anna. While telling Anna to put the stuff on her desk, Sandy glanced at me, her eyes saying, "I don't need your help now. Hurry up and ask me to introduce you to business." Childish. I sneered, burying myself in studying the Taoist techniques Judge Larry had given me before. The Earth Spirit Mirror could be used for both offense and defense. I had been lazy before and didn't learn these techniques, but unexpectedly, once the mirror was gone, I was tied up. It seemed laziness was not good. Seeing that I was ignoring her and focusing on my own things, Sandy came over again after eating. "What are you doing? Are you hungry? I still have some special delivery steak." I didn't even look at her, maintaining my aloof persona to the end. "Spit it out if you have something to say." Seeing that she couldn't manipulate me, Sandy could only lower her attitude. If a person shows aging that doesn't match their age, is it always because they were sucked dry by an evil spirit? Not necessarily, depends on the situation. "Can you go take a look then? I'll give you 100,000 whether there's a result or not." I stopped what I was doing and looked at Sandy. "Who is this person that you care about so much?" A rare look of sincerity appeared on Sandy's face. "It's my mom. Please go take a look." Sandy's father was a well-known wealthy man in the area. Logically, her mother should also frequently appear in major media outlets. However, her mother had never appeared. In some situations where a female companion was needed, Sandy's father always brought Sandy. Some women with ill intentions tried to seduce Sandy's father to get ahead, but none of them succeeded, and not even one got pregnant. Some people said they were divorced, others said Sandy's mother was dead, and there were even rumors that Sandy's mother had turned into an evil spirit and was following Sandy's father, personally getting rid of every woman who wanted to climb the social ladder. The Sandy family never refuted the rumors or explained anything. Sandy came to me this time about her mother. However, she couldn't really explain the specific situation. The Sandy family's villa was in the suburbs. Although it was remote, the security was not lax at all. Besides the gate control and security patrols arranged by the villa area property management, the Sandy family also hired their own bodyguards. It seemed something important was being guarded here. After entering the house, Sandy didn't waste much courtesy with me and directly took me to a room on the 3rd floor. The room faced south and had a huge floor-to-ceiling window. It was over 90 degrees Fahrenheit outside, so it should have been quite hot, but I felt a chill even before entering the room. Having spirit eyes also had disadvantages. For example, now I could only see a dark figure surrounded by evil spirits in the room. I performed an exorcism spell I had just learned yesterday, dispelling the surrounding evil spirits, and finally saw the person surrounded by the evil spirits. It was an old woman with white hair and skin like tree bark, furrowed with wrinkles, but radiating golden light of merit. Sandy said this was her mother, who was 39 years old this year. In just the time it took to say those two sentences, the evil spirits gathered again, surrounding the person. Before coming, I guessed that Sandy's mother might also be haunted by evil spirits, but I didn't expect there to be so many of them. After greeting Sandy's mother, Sandy took me to her room. "Did you see? Can my mom still be saved?" I shook my head. The situation is quite complex. I haven't figured out what's causing it yet. Someone with deep merit who radiates golden light of merit is usually avoided by evil spirits, so how could she be surrounded by evil spirits and have her life force absorbed? Sandy knelt down in front of me with a thud. "Please, Judy, if you can save my mom, I'm willing to give you another 20 years of lifespan." So generous. Did she really think she had 1,000 years of lifespan? In the end, I still agreed to help her. Of course, I was moved by her filial piety, not for that group of evil spirits and her 20 years of lifespan. As night fell, I sat in Judge Larry's seat, waiting for his appearance. "Judy, are you here to deliver ghosts so early today?" Judge Larry still looked smiling, as if he had completely forgotten how he had tricked me yesterday. I bared my teeth. "Can't I come find you just to hang out?" It seems 2 years of lifespan was still a bit too much. Judge Larry's single sentence scared me into jumping up. "Don't joke around like that, I'm definitely here for something important." The Sandy who had her life force absorbed by an evil spirit last time, do you still remember her? What kind of person is her mother? This question made Judge Larry frown. In a family like this, Sandy's mother isn't a purely kind person either. Not a purely kind person, so why does she have golden light of merit on her body? How can someone with golden light of merit on their body be devoured by evil spirits every day? Upon hearing my words, Judge Larry quickly summoned the Book of Life and Death and flipped through it. How could she possibly have golden light of merit? I looked at the Book of Life and Death with him. It was still blank. After checking, Judge Larry pinched his eyebrows, looking troubled. It seems they used some method to steal someone else's merit. It might also involve human lives. This is troublesome. This doesn't seem like something I can handle. What about my lifespan then? I tugged at Judge Larry's sleeve. Sandy is willing to give another 20 years of lifespan. She wants her mom to recover. Judge Larry rolled up the Book of Life and Death and smacked me on the head with it. Stealing someone's merit is a grave sin. It's not even certain if her life can be spared. At a time like this, you're still thinking about earning lifespan? Oh, great, Sandy is such a problem for her mother. My lifespan is gone too. I was almost able to live a relaxed and happy college life. While it wasn't too late, Judge Larry accompanied me on a trip to the Sandy family's house. Walking to the entrance of the Sandy family's house, Judge Larry immediately sensed something was wrong. There's actually a barrier. No wonder the ghost messengers didn't sense the evil spirits inside. I called Sandy in advance, and she had the butler wait for me at the gate and directly took me to that room on the 3rd floor. Night is when ghosts are most powerful. The entire room was filled with black ghostly energy, and my exorcism technique was completely ineffective. But Judge Larry, with a wave of his hand, collected all the evil spirits. However, after not seeing her for just half a day, the wrinkles on Sandy's mother's face had visibly deepened by several degrees. She stopped knocking on the wooden fish and looked up at us, a muddy tear rolling down from the corner of her eye. Can I finally be free? She could see the judge of the underworld. Where does your merit come from? Judge Larry asked. Sandy's mother didn't answer his question. She stood up tremblingly and instructed the butler, I'll talk with the guests. Bring up 3 servings of tea and snacks. Then she looked at us again. I know this is a grave sin. Sit down and let me tell you slowly. The butler quickly brought the tea and snacks. Sandy's mother greeted us, quickly try this silver needle white tea and pea cake." After saying that, she held the teacup herself and took a sip, squinting her eyes and enjoying it. "I've been listening to ghost cries for over 10 years. It's been a long time since it was this quiet." Sandy's mother was only 20 years old when she married Sandy's father. At that time, Sandy's father was just a small contractor, taking on building projects through his family connections. Connections needed to be greased, and the visible profits were all paid out for connections. To make money, he had to find ways to cut costs himself. One day on the construction site, someone broke a leg. A group of people took the injured person to the site to demand compensation and took away $300,000. After this phase of the project was completed, Sandy's father did the accounting and found he had lost $100,000. When drinking with friends, others laughed at him for not being ruthless enough. Sandy's father learned from the experience, and when he encountered accidents again, he shifted the responsibility to the workers, paying little or no compensation. One worker fell from the 6th floor because he wasn't wearing a safety harness and wasn't protected by a safety net. Sandy's father reacted quickly and immediately moved the person into a car to send him to the hospital. After driving for a kilometer, they stopped the car on the side of the road and checked the person's pulse. It stopped. There were only Sandy's father and another supervisor in the car. The two exchanged glances and tacitly found a wasteland to bury the person. With the first time came the second, and their hearts grew darker and darker. Until Sandy's father started having nightmares, dreaming every day of being chased by evil spirits. At the same time, accidents kept happening around him, either things falling from high places almost hitting him, or him tripping and almost falling onto rebar. At this time, Sandy's father was rich and became more attached to his life. He spent a large sum of money to find a black-hearted sorcerer and sought a way to save his life. The black-hearted sorcerer told Sandy's father that the evil spirits were coming for his life, and the only solution was to find a family member to bear it for him. The first person to bear the retribution for Sandy's father was his mother. "I am your biological son, can you bear to see a white-haired person send off a black-haired one?" Sandy's father's mother endured for over a year, couldn't bear the mental torment, and passed away. The second person to bear the retribution for Sandy's father was his father. "If I don't live, how can I have sons? How can I continue the family line?" Sandy's father's father was not as healthy as his mother and only lasted for half a year. The black-hearted sorcerer chose Sandy, who had a blood relationship with Sandy's father, as the third substitute. At that time, Sandy was only 7 years old, just a child. Sandy's father persuaded Sandy's mother, "She's just a child, we can have another one later." Sandy's mother refused. "You've committed so many sins, can you still have children in the future?" The effect of a willing wife was better than a blood relationship. In the end, Sandy's mother willingly became the third substitute. Sandy's mother's only request was, no illegitimate children, and Sandy alone would be the heir to the Sandy family. After becoming the substitute, Sandy's mother realized how tormenting it was. When awake, evil spirits roared in her ears all day. When asleep, she was bitten by evil spirits in her dreams. In just over a year, Sandy's mother aged 10 years. Sandy's father was afraid that Sandy's mother wouldn't last long. After all, besides Sandy's mother, only Sandy was left. Even if each person could last for 3 years, it would only buy him 6 years of lifespan. So, Sandy's father gave the black-hearted sorcerer another sum of money, asking him to find a way to make Sandy's mother live longer. The black-hearted sorcerer came up with the idea of transferring merit. However, transferring merit goes against the heavenly way and can easily attract the attention of the underworld, putting himself in danger. But Sandy's father gave too much, and the black-hearted sorcerer couldn't resist the temptation. So, he came up with a compromise: teach Sandy's father how to transfer merit. Now Sandy's father ran many businesses, and the occasional disappearance of 1 or 2 employees on the construction site was not a big deal. Sandy's father's compensation was also generous, so things had been calm for so many years. After gaining merit, Sandy's mother was no longer bitten by evil spirits in her dreams, and the roaring of evil spirits in her ears was blocked by 70 to 80% when she was awake. However, after receiving merit one time, Sandy's mother also received the original owner's spirit eyes and was almost scared to death when she saw evil spirits surrounding her. From then on, Sandy's mother became depressed and kept eating vegetarian food and reciting Buddhist scriptures, trying to atone for her sins. More and more evil spirits gathered around her, and the golden light of merit could no longer withstand the evil spirits sucking Sandy's mother's life force. Now, only Sandy's mother's love for her daughter was keeping her alive. "Lord Judge, I don't care what happens to me, but my daughter is innocent. Can you please not involve her?" Sandy's mother looked at Judge Larry with pleading eyes. Judge Larry's answer was very cold. "She is not innocent, and neither are you. Your beautiful life is built on the flesh and blood of others. Those innocent souls who were harmed and killed by your family are the truly innocent ones." Sandy's mother excitedly knelt on the ground, trying to hug Judge Larry's leg but missed, and could only lie on the ground crying out, "Lord Judge, can't you take pity on a mother's love for her daughter? I just want my daughter to live well." I interrupted, "No emotional blackmail." Sandy's mother acted as if she didn't hear me and continued to make a scene, "Have pity on me, a dying person." But she forgot that Judge Larry is the judge of the underworld, the most just and upright. So, Judge Larry simply walked away. I quickly chased after him. "What's the situation now?" "Naturally, let them reap what they sow." Before leaving, Judge Larry broke the barrier and released the evil spirits that had been surrounding Sandy's mother. Ox Head and Horse Face were already waiting beside Sandy's mother for her to breathe her last. And then, the abandoned building in the suburbs suddenly collapsed, revealing over a dozen skeletons in the wall, terrifying a homeless man who was living there. After investigation, these were all people who had been tortured and killed and had their bodies dumped by Sandy's father. In one day, Sandy experienced her mother's death and her father's imprisonment, as well as the freezing of her family assets. Now, she had nothing left in her hands. I saw her eyes red from crying and finally took out the $100,000 she had given me and returned it to her. The evil spirits were gone, the lifespan was gone, and the cash was gone. I lost big time. After being lazy for over a month, I gathered a mirror full of little ghosts and went to exchange them for lifespan with Judge Larry. Judy, female, has rendered meritorious service in breaking evil spells and apprehending evil spirits. Rewarded with 2 years and 8 months of lifespan, for a total lifespan of 23 years and 5 months. After Judge Larry finished reading the reward, I pinched my face. It hurt a lot. Why is there so much lifespan? I deducted another 20 years of Sandy's lifespan. This is the punishment she deserves. Okay, well, I guess that's Sandy getting her just desserts. It serves her right for stealing my Earth Spirit mirror in the first place. Just as I was about to jump for joy, Judge Larry pressed down on the top of my head. "Judy, keep up the good work. May you live a long and healthy life."